Millions of Americans avoid filing their taxes or reluctantly hand over their wallets because the system feels designed to trap them. It feels like a confusing, expensive process where one wrong move triggers an audit. The commercial tax preparation industry thrives on that anxiety. Those familiar commercial software boxes you see in stores and their online equivalents routinely charge users over $150 for incredibly basic returns. In-person preparers operate on the same model. You walk in, hand over your W-2, and walk out with a $200 bill, often paired with a refund anticipation loan that quietly siphons off a percentage of your money before it ever reaches your bank account. The federal government operates an official program in direct partnership with the IRS. This system exists specifically to help taxpayers bypass the paywalls created by the commercial industry. This comparison table shows exactly what is at stake. On one side, the industry average fee of $150 or more. On the other, the official IRS Free File program, which costs exactly $0. If your adjusted gross income in 2025 was $89,000 or less, you qualify. That covers 70% of all American taxpayers. Securing your exact match requires moving past a reliance on commercial software and spending 20 minutes on organized chronological preparation. This visual checklist breaks down the critical first step, the pre-filing document stack. Gathering these exact forms before you sit down to file is the single best way to prevent frustration, mid-process abandonment, and automated IRS mismatch errors. Look closely at the income section. If you had a standard job, you need your W-2. But if you did any freelance work, drove for a rideshare app, or operated as an independent contractor, you must have your 1099 NEC forms ready. The IRS already has copies of these forms, and leaving one out guarantees a flagged return. Next, you have to test the math on your deductions. The choice is between itemizing every single deductible expense you had or taking the standard deduction. For most people, the standard deduction, $15,000 for singles and $30,000 for married couples, usually wins out over itemizing. Single parents frequently make a costly mathematical error during this step by defaulting to the single filing status, missing the legal benefits of filing as head of household. The rules for head of household are straightforward. You are unmarried, you paid more than half the cost of keeping up a home, and a qualifying dependent lived with you for more than half the year. Meeting these criteria raises your base standard deduction by $7,500 compared to filing as single. Completing this organizational stack and verifying your correct filing status up front ensures you aren't leaving money behind before you even open a software window. Now we identify your software. This decision tree maps out your exact free filing path, and every option hinges on the crucial $89,000 adjusted gross income threshold for the 2025 tax year. If your income sits below $89,000, your path routes directly to the official IRS guided partners. This includes companies like TaxAct and Free Tax USA. But you must start exactly here at irs.gov/freefile. Searching for these partner companies directly on Google exposes you to websites designed to funnel you into paid products using aggressive marketing. Use the government link to maintain your free status. For active duty military, National Guard, reserves, and their families, a separate path bypasses the income limit entirely. The Mil Tax program handles niche military calculations like combat pay exclusions and basic allowance for housing automatically. If you prefer human guidance, the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, or VITA, allows taxpayers earning $67,000 or less to sit down with a certified volunteer who prepares and reviews the return entirely for free. Similarly, the Tax Counseling for the Elderly program, operated largely through trusted AARP locations, provides free physical assistance geared entirely towards taxpayers aged 60 and older, focusing on complex pension and Social Security questions. Returning to our decision tree, let's look at the upper path. If your income exceeds that $89,000 limit, the official IRS free option routes you to free file fillable forms. This option comes with a steep effort trade-off. There is no guided interview, there is no error checking. You are simply typing your numbers into blank digital versions of the IRS tax code. You must have deep confidence in your own math to use this safely. Because of that complexity, higher earners with standard returns should look to third-party alternatives. Tools like Cash App Taxes operate outside the official IRS program, but still provide fully guided federal filing with zero income limits. Verifying your specific scenario on this tree before you click a single link is the only way to guarantee you won't accidentally pay for software you had the legal right to use for free. Once you are inside your software, your final goal is claiming credits. This 2x2 matrix evaluates 4 of the most critical credits available. These are vital because they reduce your final tax bill dollar for dollar or provide a direct cash refund even if you owe nothing. The Earned Income Tax Credit carries massive value for low to moderate income workers. Depending on your income and the number of dependents you have, this highly restrictive credit can generate a direct refund of up to $8,046. Because the payout is so large, the IRS heavily audits self-prepared EITC claims that contain math errors. Relying on your guided software or a VITA volunteer is essential here to calculate the precise amount accurately. The Child Tax Credit offers up to $2,000 per dependent, with up to $1,700 of that fully refundable. To claim it, you must clear a strict age requirement. The child must be under 17 at the end of the tax year, and you must prove you provided more than half of their financial support. If you paid interest on your student loans, Form 1098-E unlocks a highly specific tax break that actually bypasses the standard deduction barrier entirely. This is known as an above-the-line deduction. It means you are legally allowed to deduct up to $2,500 of that loan interest to lower your total taxable income, even if you still plan to take the standard deduction. Finally, education credits are strictly divided by how long the student has been in school. The high-yield American Opportunity Tax Credit applies only to the first 4 years of college. If you are pursuing ongoing professional development after that window, you must claim the Lifetime Learning Credit instead. Successfully navigating the IRS portal and finding your free software means absolutely nothing if you rush through the final pages and abandon these high-yield credits. Let's lock in your exact plan. This final quadrant chart maps out your ideal software option based entirely on the complexity of your taxes and how much guidance you need to feel secure. Our baseline recommendation: if you earn under $89,000, you need the high guidance options. Use irs.gov to access the guided partners. If you are in the armed forces, route straight to MilTax. Both give you professional-grade software logic, fully free. For those earning over the limit, avoid the unguided fillable forms unless you are an active tax professional. Instead, rely on free third-party apps like Cash App Taxes or Free Tax USA to get the guided help you need without the industry markup. Your hard deadline to execute this process for your 2025 returns is April 15, 2026. Handing over hundreds of dollars to an industry built on your anxiety is a choice you can now avoid. Every step of this process is available to you for free, allowing you to file your return legally and keep your entire refund.